All right, welcome to the Drop the Leash podcast. First, we got to thank our sponsors. Canada College, great things happen here. Northscape Landscaping and the Tresnack family. Fox the Fiddle Pub, located at 112 Spencer Avenue, North Bay. Join the men's NFC team after every home game at our home of the fifth quarter. Kenny Upol, North Bay. Your self-serve auto parts store located at 412 Burgess Road, North Bay. DeMarco Luceni Insurance Brokers, located at 693 Castle Street, North Bay. Call for your home, auto, commercial, and business needs at 705-474-2420. Ask for Coach Krister or Coach Eric. A&S Towing, located at 1345 Franklin Street, North Bay. Call 705-497-8565 for all your towing needs. We got a lot of stuff to go over here, guys. There's two teams in the playoffs right now.
Yeah,
it's the youngest and the oldest.
Oh, yeah.
And they're 2-0 against Oakville teams in the last two games.
Yeah.
So, how did that go? I know you got lots to say.
Well, it went way better than expected. I mean, I think this is the first Bantam team since the team's inception in 2013 to ever get past the first round. So I think that's a huge milestone in Bulldogs football to see the youth really eclipse their peers. But that was the number one team in our division now, and I think they took us for granted, and they paid a heavy price for not studying film, not being prepared, not taking it serious. So I mean, let's face it, all three phases of the game came together. So I was incredibly impressed by the way the Bulldogs performed. The Bantam kids were awesome. The coaches were great. I mean, everything was just clicking.
Yeah, we watched that film on Oakville. Waterloo Warriors sent us some film over. I got some film on them, and they were more than happy to share that film with us. And we put together a game plan going into that game. They had their quarterback, their biggest athlete. He was running a lot. He averaged probably 150 yards on the ground, 200 yards in the air per game. They averaged 29.5 points per game. Their offense, and we set up a defense where that quarterback got less than 40 yards on the ground, and I don't think he threw for 100 yards. We held them to 12 points on the game. The kids showed up, man. They played. It was hot, like
it was 30s.
Yeah, like high 30s with humid
cloud cover, and then the sun came out, and it was cooking
hot,
like smothering.
Those kids gave us everything. I'm speaking specifically about defense. Clinton can touch on the offense, but the guys on defense, they bought into that game plan we had, and it worked. That we had a spy on the quarterback the entire game. Anytime that quarterback took off somewhere, he was getting hit. He was getting hit by everybody, and he didn't like it. He was not impressed getting hit as much as he did, and we knew they were in trouble when we were driving in the fourth quarter, and they put their quarterback out at linebacker.
Yeah.
So
I think his name is Tristan, and I think he's the centerpiece of their whole team, at least on offense. Sure. They run him. He's a big kid for his age group, and he's got really good skills all around. Great quarterback. I would love to have him, as a protege, even with the kids we have. But when you take away their centerpiece, it forces their next set of players to step up. And that's the important thing. Now you can't rely on him. You have to go to your other players. And I don't know if they were prepared.
They didn't have a backup plan. I said going in, if they beat us with somebody else, so be it, but they're not beating us with that guy.
Yeah.
And they sure didn't. I mean, the Oakville runs a 5-man line. They put 5 receivers out, and then they keep a guy in the backfield with the quarterback. And I said that 5-man line is not going to cut it against our D-line. That D-line has been so awesome all season. They're getting better and better every week, and the ends kept the quarterback inside. The spy watched him, and he didn't have time to throw. He couldn't run anywhere. They got 2 big passing plays on us.
Yeah, they made plays, but they were the big ones. Lucky, just a good goal and strike, something you really can't defend against.
No sustained drives.
But they didn't have any. Yeah, they had no sustained drives. They had no pressure.
I bet you their punter punted more in that game than he did all season.
Yeah.
So,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, No, and I mean, I've said their names on the podcast, Gage and Cole and Wes and Parker on the line. The linebackers, Colton, Drake, and Matthias, and then surprisingly, and we ran into a little bit of an issue with Matthias getting hurt, and then I had to find somebody. He was our spy, and I had to find somebody with speed. And I got to tell you, I threw a kid to the wolves, Jacob
Rickard.
Yeah, I threw him to the wolves. I said, look, you're watching that quarterback, and if he moves, you go get him. And he went in the fourth quarter, and that quarterback didn't get another yard in the fourth quarter. He showed up big. He got our hardest worker this week because a kid that has never played the position, and you tell him what he's got to do on the sideline, and he was more than capable to do it. So, extremely happy.
Yeah,
with
Jacob he's an offensive product, and he's been waiting for his opportunity with patience. And you know, there are a lot of gifted players on this team, and he's just sitting there waiting for his opportunity. He's one of those kids who will stand right by you and wait for his name to be called. And he did that all season. At first he was as green, you know, he's a rookie and he had a lot of experience to gain. But by the end of the season now, he is just, you know, that's the great thing about Bantam. They're not the same player at the end that they were at the beginning. They have come so far, and he's a complete dichotomy of the whole thing, that he has risen really far from just being, you know, coming out of the gym, being really new to the whole idea of football, and now to make, you know, a huge impression in a playoff game in a situation he's never been in. You know, he's really taking the time to learn, and you know, kudos to him for stepping up.
Well, that's what you look for in the playoff games. If a kid can't go and you got to put somebody else in, you want a kid to step up and take the reins and be able to count on them. And I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised at that. I was confident that he could do the job. I just didn't think he would do it as well as he did. He scraped along the line and found the holes to get in there and get the quarterback numerous times. It was impressive to watch. And he's small. The quarterback towered over him, and he just grabbed the legs and held on.
Yeah, he would go in there, make a tackle, bring him down, or he would hold him up long enough for some reinforcement to come in there and
great to
blow and get him off. It was great. Like, you know, their quarterback, he looked frustrated.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was getting to that point where, you know, you start to self-destruct.
Yeah.
You lose confidence in what you're doing. When you lose that confidence in the game plan, things start to fall apart really quick.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just him. There was other players on their team. I mean, you could see the frustration building as the game went on, and our players. I'm super impressed with how they pushed through everything that went wrong.
Heat
injury. We had a kid who had his hand stomped on, cleat marks on top of his hand. Thought his hand was busted. He came off for a few plays, and then he forced his glove back on and said, "I'm good to go," and went back out there. And he thought it was broken. The trainers didn't think. The trainers cleared him. I wouldn't have put him in otherwise. And then he's out there and he makes a tackle and he's on the ground. He's slow to get up. Their quarterback said, "There's an injury, bring out water." And I could hear our player from the sideline like groan and push himself up off the field. And that is it's such a proud moment when you see your players push through that. The next play he went and hit the quarterback again and tackled him for a loss. So I mean, when you see a player know that everything, this is it. It's win or go home, and they push to the limit. I tell them I'll carry them off the field if they can't walk.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as that game's over, all the tired and everything's gone.
Oh yeah.
Everybody.
They were elated. It was ecstatic. There was no fatigue. They were just, you know, and
that's the way football is supposed to be played.
Yeah.
If you come off the field and you have excess energy, well, then you weren't working hard enough, right?
I tell them that too. I mean, we got to talk about Matthew Devier too, because
I was getting to that, but
I'll talk about him on defense. Like he played some safety, and at 2 or 3 times when he was out on safety, he picked the quarterback off. He stopped their last drive, picked them off on about the 20-yard line with 18 seconds left in the game. So that sealed it for us.
Yeah, he put the sword right to the heart of Oakville. The Titans fell to Mr. Debian. You know, I want to give all the kids pet names. I like to give him like Iron Man or Tony Stark or something.
Yeah.
But he goes back and forth. He
Yeah.
doesn't ask. He's so humble. He's all in. That game, he is concentrating so hard. You can't joke with him.
Yeah.
You can only tell him a football thing, and he will go do that football thing. But he ran our first touchdown in. I think it was an 85-yard run.
Third play of the game.
Third play of the
Set
game.
tone early.
Yeah, he set the tone early, and he made it like that's an impression that we're here to play.
Yeah.
You guys you're gonna have to beat him. And
So what was the big play of the game? What was the turning point, so to say?
you know what? We were doing that on the bus. We had the Mount Rushmore of plays. I think it was just a cumulative effort. There were so many good plays. I think we exercised our demons, and this is Nick Shank, Coach Nick's impression of the game, that we had some weaknesses, and we got rid of them all. Everything from kick return, where we've been really, that wasn't our strong point. We fixed that, and we stopped that to be a big gain for the other team. We kicked the point through. Never, I don't think we've ever done that.
No, we were
Critical point, and we kicked the point
12-12,
through.
and yeah, we were talking about kicking or going for two, and I said, well, you go for two, you kick one, it's the same thing. They still need a field goal. We might as well try for the kick. We got a kicker.
Boise?
Yeah, Colton. And he went out. He came to me. He said, "Coach, this is a big kick." I said, "Colton, it's another kick. Just go kick it. If you don't get it, so what? We go to overtime. Who cares? We're still playing. If you get it, great. If not, it is what it is."
But he did it. He put it through, put it right through the uprights, and man, that was it. That's the game sealer. But I mean, it really was a collaborative effort. I mean, I'll even give it to Coach Ryan and Nick. They were maestros out there orchestrating the offense, moving those pieces.
Yeah.
Whenever their Titans defense shored up something, they would show them something new, and it was incredible to watch. Like, I'm not the best offensive coordinator, but these two working together, they put on a concert. Like, it's, you know, a masterpiece of just moving the pieces around.
The game plan going in on offense was not big plays, so there wasn't. Like Matthew Degay ran that 85-yard touchdown. That was the biggest play of the game. We didn't plan on running big plays like that or having really deep. It was a plan to have the offense, keep their offense off the field. That's where they get all their points. That's their strongest part of their game. Keep their offense on the sideline and just sustain drives, long drives down the field and chew clock. And I tell you, the offense kept the defense pretty fresh because the offense, they were out there a long time.
I said it was a really good work of coaching where we would bleed the clock as much as we could to give everybody time. And in those hot conditions, under those playoff pressures, you really want to just take your time, get the kids to keep them hydrated, keep them in a good physical state. And
the
really
hydration team was awesome too on the sideline. I mean, they made sure they had Gatorade stuff for them at halftime to get some electrolytes in them, and water was constantly flowing. The refs let us take out water during timeouts, injuries, between quarters, that stuff. So everything just went to plan. It was nice to see a plan laid out and everything go to plan.
Yeah, the offense came out in a very, very rigid, close-knit power football formation. And we just started pounding on them, and then they brought all their defense in, exactly what you would expect. And then you go into your more spread offense, and then we just started to light them up with outside runs, throws, and then they had to respect that. So then they go back out, they uncompress, and then you go back at them with the big boys, and all of the guys, T.O., Matthew. Matthias ran. He was a power. Now, when that kid hits you, it's like a Mack truck coming at you. Even if he's not getting 5 or 6 yards of carry, he's exhausting to pull down.
Yeah.
It's like trying to pull down a bull moose. Like, you just can't do it. You got to get 4 or 5 guys to wrestle him down, and it just exhausts them. And then when you get the quick guys like T.O. or Dane to run, now they have to chase you. And you get a guy like Timmy to run 15 yards down the field. They're running after you, and it's not the same as bringing down, Matthias is you have to chase them and they have to run in those hot conditions, and you just don't know where you're getting hit. But we did notice at the end of the game, their defense was so frustrated. They were getting what I would call very critical penalties, and they were giving up yards.
Big
I think
yards.
they gave up
a bench penalty of 15 yards.
Pass interference.
Pass interference.
Pass interference for 15. Then all of a sudden, their kids are lipping off.
Yeah.
Not keeping their composure in a playoff situation, and they give up another 15.
Yeah,
so now we
30
got
yards on that
30
one.
yards. We're down to the 11, right there, and then you have to maintain composure, even if you're losing. And I know it's hard. Everyone does. No one likes to lose, or no one likes to get trampled or get.
Well, when you're in first place and you got a coach and you got coaches talking about, coaches overheard their coaches talking about it being a cakewalk. Their parents saying, 4.5 hours long way to drive just to lose, and all these little things. They didn't expect us to play the way we did, and when you're going into the fourth quarter and you're driving and you're one kick away from winning the game. We just kept them on their heels the entire game, so it was great.
The good thing is the score isn't indicative of how well we did.
No, not at all.
We were down in the red zone 2 additional times where we made mistakes or we ran out of time. So that's another 12 points minimum that we could have tacked on there if we were a little bit more precise. But they couldn't stop us. Like that offense was moving the ball up and down the field pretty much as it needed to. Their defense just was stymied, and our defense just kept them in check. Like it was a great exhibition of 3 phases of football all coming together.
Hey, we've got a friend of the club behind you there, and
I see him.
He loves when North Bay beats an Oakville team.
Anytime a North Bay team
Come on,
can go down
North.
south and beat a southern team, it's a really big win. Just on the basis of the difference in population that we have to choose from. But that's a testament to the coaching staff preparing the kids for that one game. And I mean, when that kind of thing happens, that's the only thing you can really attest it to is, you guys took the time to really study the film and you prepared your players to take advantage of their weaknesses, attack their weaknesses, manage their strengths, and take advantage of some of the things they don't do very well. So I mean, that clearly came out in the game, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great to see you guys prepare for the next game. It's always a really good thing.
Yeah, we got Guelph coming up. We're
Guelph.
the number 2 team now, so we're a road team. Like I said, we're a road team, and we're playing the top teams to get to August 6th. We watched Guelph film. Offense has prepared their game plan. I've prepared our defensive game plan, and it's going to be fun to watch. I tell you, I said it last time we did the podcast. Anybody that takes us lightly and is not ready for our defense coming, especially that D line, and Guelph again, they like to run a 5-man line, so the quarterback's going to be running for his life a lot.
What's the old saying? Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
Offense puts butts in the seats.
Yeah.
It is true.
So
It's
we're
true.
we're looking forward to going down to the University of Guelph and facing Guelph and seeing what happens there, and then hopefully we're going into August 6th, getting prepared for whatever team's left.
No, his alma mater doesn't like Guelph either, so.
No.
Yeah, no. Those
It's going to be fun for the
Waterloo
kids to
Warrior,
go down
Guelph
there.
Griffins.
Well, I tell you, Waterloo Warriors, I give a shout out to them because they are super friendly with tape. I've sent them tape on the guys third facing Clarington and Orangeville, I think.
Yeah.
And they're more than willing to send tape to us, so
Oh, yeah.
they're really good at sending me what I need, and I've sent out requests to every team, and that's the only team that seems to be okay with sharing film. So thanks, Waterloo, and hopefully I'm sending you another request next week for film on the next team.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to this game.
It's going to be fun. The confidence level in the kids is through the roof.
As it should be.
Yeah, it really
As long
should
as
be.
confidence doesn't become arrogance.
Yeah,
I'm
it
good
needs
with that.
to be humble. It
Be
needs to
humble.
tempered with humble, that they can always get better, and they have to get better.
They have to
in
get
order
better.
go on.
And you could see it with the kids on not only on the field but on the sideline. I know there was a lot of kids that didn't get an opportunity to get on the field in the last game, but at the end of the game, when it came down to it. They're all part of the Bulldogs and the Bantam, and they played as much a part as anybody else to get us there. And they were ecstatic. They were as happy as the kids that were on the field. It's a team effort. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do feel bad, but they got to remember this is a rep team, and we try to put the best team out
The
on
most
the field,
ready players
the most
on the
ready
field at the
players
time, yeah.
that we feel
Yeah.
are safe to be out there. It's no offense to their skills. It really isn't.
a
They
matter
will
of
grow
being
into
ready.
them. They will become better.
And
And
when-
when your number's called, though, you come out and
Yeah.
you get ready. Because, like I said, that Jacob Rickard,
that showed it. Yep.
he was on the bench far longer than he probably should have been, but he came out and, when 87 was called, I love the number, by the way,
Came out and played
came out
back
and he played
exactly
back.
how I needed it. It was impressive.
Yeah, okay.
It opens up moving into this week for game plan for Guelph. It opens up so many more possibilities now. We've got kids that are back now from injuries. We have Jacob is a new find at linebacker, like just outstanding. I was down. I had 3 linebackers, and I was kind of not.
Well, football's a sport of attrition.
Yeah.
It really is. And when you can find that extra little superstar in there,
That's different. That's versatility, which
Versatility.
is even better.
Yeah,
and
so
he's a
now
good
it's-
receiver, too.
Yeah, exactly. He can play wide receiver. I can put him in coverage. He can play linebacker. Like, it's just an added body that when you're looking for somebody to throw out there, and he accepted the challenge and rose to the occasion. It was impressive.
Yeah, I'll give another shout out to the offensive line.
Yeah.
They held up, and that this number 1 team, they're there for a reason. And Dane didn't get taken down. There was no sacks in the
That's right.
backfield, and they worked really hard. That's a tough team.
Yeah, 29.5 points a game
29.
is their average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You held them to 12.
To 12
The
points.
12,
no,
yeah. Offense and defense, that's rolling together.
Yep. Yeah, I was very happy with that offense too.
Yeah.
Those long sustained drives
Long
like that.
sustained drives in the heat, grinding
That's
them out.
awesome. Defense sitting on the sideline drinking water, and their defense out there, hands on the knees, sucking wind, getting frustrated, don't know where the ball's going, can't figure out read our plays. Their coaches are not figuring it out. It's really nice to see it. It's a beautiful thing.
It is, yeah.
One
I'm
of those sports. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful sport, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a great thing.
So that Ryan and Nick, they put together that game plan.
Maestros, like you
Oh,
said,
yeah.
is Beethoven's
Yeah.
symphony.
Can't say enough about the game, and we had just as many fans down there as they did, so
Yeah,
the
I
fans
can't-
got
That's even
treated
better.
to a nice
You
game.
guys got a posse that travels with the club, so
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
they really do. They just come out. They're all on that bench,
Yep.
and you got the Oakville parents here, and then you got the Bulldog parents, and they're almost the same amount. It's exciting, and
Yeah.
it's great for the kids to see their fans follow them. That's a long way.
It is. And it's another long way down to Guelph this weekend, but I'm sure the fans will be even more filled this time. I mean, we're going into a semifinal now
Semi-final
against
game.
the Junior Griffins. So
This is our first semifinal at Bantam.
Bantam, yeah.
When was the team? 2013, am I right?
no,
Bantam was
2013 was
15?
JV. 2015, yeah.
15, 2 years
2015?
later, yeah.
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 Still,
After 2 years.
team set the bar high.
Yeah, it's the way it works.
Incredibly proud of them.
It's great.
Okay, just can't say enough about them.
Hey, Coach, I was going to ask if you're going in the kitchen. I can't leave this right now. Would you be able to grab me 2 bottles of fundraiser?
Yeah, of course.
Because I forgot to grab them. Can't tell anybody what that is yet, but gotta get some
Yeah.
advertising plugs in for that stuff
yeah,
because
yeah.
we may have a couple extra buses to pay for.
Yeah,
on the
hopefully
season.
we've got 2 more to pay for.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Let's get those kids down past Junior Griffins and not looking past them. We're going to prepare
Yeah.
for them, and then we're going to get ready for the next team,
Yeah.
hopefully. And
Well,
Be
we've
the
been
first
playing
time.
all. I think it's actually to our benefit that we played all the best teams in the last part of the season. There's no walkover
I
games.
put
There's
this
no
stuff on
going in.
That's
oh
right.
man,
yeah, the 3 teams that beat us in the regular season are out. They're gone.
yeah. And they're all top tier teams. They were the best.
They were the
And
best.
we held in there. We just had some mistakes.
And what had
What is
happened?
that?
This one's really good.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome on hamburgers and hot dogs.
I love hot sauce. I'll eat anything that's spicy.
Apparently, Coach Mathon puts it on everything he said while he was
Yeah.
walking in.
It's like
What's that?
Frank's,
On
like
everything?
Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah.
Oh, can't say that. probably.
Can't say that. Cut.
But better.
The editor is bad at that. He's not doing it.
We
Just saying.
have 2 different types of hot sauces here. They're $10 a bottle, 2 for $20. Get one of each flavor. This one is a tomato base. Pretty large bottles. Can't tell you how many milliliters there.
As far as hot sauce goes, this is a big bottle. This is about the normal size of a Worcestershire, that one, bottle.
So this is a tomato base. Awesome. This one's a honey mustard base. We got lots of these bottles of hot sauce. We've been selling them at games all year. Made by a football fan himself down in Sarnia, Ontario. And we're going to try and sell as many of these to help pay for some added expenses that came in this season. We always have to do something. I know you guys did butter tarts earlier this season. So let's keep these flying out of the boxes and off the shelves and get some money brought in for the club to cover these expenses. The buses were astronomical.
Buses are our most expensive, the biggest expense we have in a season.
Yeah, transporting.
Yeah.
It's up there. So go on the website. They're on the website. Or talk to your coaches about how you can get these hot sauces, and let's get rid of all of them so that we can cover all these added expenses. Right?
Yeah.
So
You want to chat about the men? Win?
we got the senior varsity too.
Oh, senior varsity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
senior varsity went and played this.
I don't have
last
much
weekend.
news about that. I know they lost, unfortunately. It was 35-0.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I believe
It
that's
was-
what it was, 35-0
Something like that, yeah.
to
Quinty.
Quinty Skyhawks. They had lost. They had a tough go. They were, short some players. We sent some up from JV. 5 of them: Lucan, Peter, Riley, Jacob, and Justin Marietti. I think the first game that we gave them JV players, I think Justin Marietti played some quarterback for them.
Nice.
He did. He got, actually, from what I understand, he did most of the offensive production with his
really?
feet and his arm.
Oh wow.
He did very well.
Good for him. So shout out to those young guys that are stepping up and getting prepared for next season. I know that we've also had a lot of the JV players out with the men's NFC team. We're working out from Wednesday to Friday, depending on how many people are Wednesday, Thursday, that want to be there on Friday. But we're going 6 till 7:30 since we already have the field scheduled for practices. You guys are still going to be using it.
Yep.
And they're flipping tires. They're hitting tires with sledgehammers, getting the core workouts in, battle ropes, parachutes. I know your kids are using them every practice.
I brought bring the parachutes out for the linebackers and then send them over to the ropes.
Yeah, we got push sleeves, pull sleeves. The men's guys will be out there. Even some of the old vets that aren't playing football, Jay Pichette, Brad Kerr, I'm expecting them out. They want to come do some unconventional workouts that they don't get at Good Life. So you'll see a lot of them. Speaking of which, our flag team, we're putting one in.
The men's team? Yeah.
We're putting in, well, it's not the men's team. It's the has-been on the
Just
men's
the old
teams. And some of them are on the current roster. We got,
Wait till the list.
we got some Hall of Famers here.
Oh, yeah. See who you got.
Well, we have Brad Kerr's coming out. We got Chad Smith. And for those of you who don't know, Chad Smith was a amazing wide receiver back in his day. We're going to see if he still got wheels. Let's have to tell him the beer store is closed and he'll run down and catch that ball and leave. Ford Moreland.
Ford's back.
Ford's living in Toronto. His kid's 17 years old. They're both going to be playing every second weekend. They can't commit to every game, but they're going to be playing every second weekend. His son's stoked because he's only ever heard Dad's football stories, and he wants to be a member of the men's team. So he wants to practice with us and play with us. So Jay Pichette. We have some current players: Jesse Schultz, Bray Smith, Krista Moore, James Michaud, myself, Gabe Charlebois. We're waiting on a couple more. But we
Nice.
also may have a certain Hall of Fame quarterback who may be coming to play with these older guys too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Jason?
it could
I
be.
don't want to spoil it.
It could be. It could be. I can't tell you.
QB13.
I can't tell you. Could be QB17 too. We don't know yet.
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys don't remember that one, but Mark does. And he also played a little bit of slot. Waiting to hear back from
What about
him.
this guy? Is he going to play?
Hey, yeah.
Oh, I keep breaking my fingers going for those flags. I much prefer touch. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it fares out. I'll always be around the field.
We also got Dan Routley on our team, and I had some younger guys that you and I coached that were interested in possibly playing. One being Parker McKinney.
Oh, nice.
So there's a really good mix on our team, and
Yeah.
those guys that play men's currently, there's a there's a lot of them that don't know some of these guys. They are big, versatile athletes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're still able to catch the ball, run with the ball, and if you don't catch their flag, you better watch out because they don't stop. Majority of these guys, right? That's how you end up in the NFC Hall of Fame. So it's going to be fun. I get to play with a lot of these guys that taught me how to play football, which is going to be a blast because I haven't played with any of them in a long time. And then they get to play with these guys and show the kids that they're still athletes. They may not be able to take the pounding, but they're still athletes.
Yeah.
It's going to be neat.
Good. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to play too.
We'll be talking about it. I'm sure they have a season.
We're going to have Nick on next week.
Yeah.
Nick's going to be pushing hard.
He's a champion about it. Flag league.
Yeah, so I'm hoping a couple more of the younger men's players that are currently on the NFC team come out, and we'd like to try and get our roster full with a good mix. So the older guys, the middle guys, and the really young guys, it's going to be a neat mix.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Jason Pichette recommended that the team name be Baby Wipes.
I'm not shocked. Not surprised at all.
So yeah,
That's clever.
there's I think I want to say there's six, 7 teams I think in the flag for the men's
Yeah.
competitive. I believe it is.
I believe it is.
So I'm waiting for Nick. He's going to confirm all that stuff. If there's any senior varsity players out there or current men's players that are watching this, there is still space available on teams. And you know, if you're not on a team, contact Nick Shank. You can become a free agent, or you can join a team with one of your teammates. There's young players in there, older players. It's a great mix. It's a really great mix. I'm going to be playing against some of the kids I coached in JV, so I'm pretty excited.
That is exciting.
Show them coach still has a little bit of gas left in the tank.
Well, you play with some of those kids now.
Yeah.
Like Bryce Smith was on that JV team in 2013 or 2014.
Yeah, and I played men's with them just a couple weekends ago. We beat Oakville 44-22. And
That's nice. That's a playoff berth.
I think it could have been a 70-0 game if it really came down to it. We had a bunch of guys play that graduated through the whole club.
Yeah.
You know, Mason was playing some quarterback. Carson was kicking. He was on point too.
Yeah, I was there for the game. I've seen that old Mason and Carson in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
The old West
So
Bears pass that burned so many of the NDA teams throughout their high school career. So I knew it was them as soon as it was going. As soon as that ball was up towards that corner, I knew it was Carson back there catching it. And
Yeah.
And you know what? It wasn't just passing. Ryan McCollman had a game too.
Yeah.
Ryan McCollman.
He had what, a 50, 60-yard scamper to the end zone.
Yeah, 50
Made a-
yarder.
Yeah, a bunch of
50
people
yarder.
miss on one play. Yeah.
Yeah.
And defense was looking good. Their quarterback didn't have a whole lot of time either. So that's what they were used to, is rolling out and sprinting them off the edge. And we weren't having any of that. So it was a great game. It was fun. It was really fun. There was a lot of players on the team. There's a lot of people there. I hadn't seen that many fans there for a home game for the NFC men's yet this year. So, and in a couple of years, it was pretty busy. So you there?
Yeah.
I know when I was playing, I tipped the ball and I looked at you and said, "Hey, I can still pass cover a little bit." Like if I could, I would have probably caught the damn thing. But it was fun. It was really fun, and it's a fast team. So I'm excited. We're going to be playing, I believe, GTA.
Yeah, GTA. The All-Stars.
We're not playing this weekend though. No, we're playing August 6th. Yeah, we have a bye week before playoffs. We had a bye week last week because our end of the season was a bye. So we're going in 6th place.
Yeah.
So we're playing the number 3 seed GTA.
Yeah.
Lots of crazy stuff happened in the league that week too, because Sudbury actually lost to Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah.
So they went from first place to
Second.
place. Yeah. So Tri-City's in first, Sudbury's in second, GTA's in third, Sault Ste. Marie finished in fourth. Who's after that?
The Longhorns.
The Longhorns.
And then us.
Then us. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Raiders.
Toronto Raiders, and then Sarnia.
Yeah.
So parity in the league this year. No undefeated teams. There's some blowouts, but not consistent.
Yeah.
So
Some surprises.
yeah.
A little bit of controversy here and there. Mark will talk about that next week, I'm sure. But other than that, yeah, that league is exciting. Just, you don't know who will come out, with that trophy at the end.
It's
a lot of
it's
great
going to be
teams.
close. There's been years where there's 2 or 3 teams that just excel beyond
Yeah.
everyone else, and you know that there's going to be 2 teams playing in the championship game. And for years you could almost call them out. From 2001 when I started all the way till just a couple of years ago, you almost knew who was going to be there. Midway through the season, okay, this team's excelling, this team's hurting. Could be a regrowth. Not sure, but with the pandemic, a lot of the veterans they left, and a lot of teams are with young players.
It's because they
Well,
were all
GTA
old. 2
team-
years off is a long time for an old body to get back in shape.
Oh,
I mean,
you become lazy. Yeah, I can attest to that. So, which is the importance of get out Wednesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock to flip some tires and pull some sleighs
Yeah.
or some shoots,
Yeah.
right?
Well, like you're saying, that GTA team, it was the rising star for years. Had a lock on the championship. They had a 3-peat, I think. Was it 3?
Yeah, well,
3?
Sault Ste. Marie did the same thing.
Yeah.
They had a
Now
3 or
that's
4
two,
peat
you
or
go
something.
Yeah,
2?
2 plus, 3. They won it twice in a row.
Yeah.
And then Oakville forever.
Yeah, they were the team to beat.
Mississauga Tri-City. There's lots of teams that were consistent, but North Bay was up there for a while too.
Yeah.
So semifinal losses. There's 3 teams I believe I was on the semifinal losses, but back then it was players would leave one team, go to the next team, but now there's the parity's back. It's there. So, and you're seeing it, and the Bantam JV senior varsity thing really helped. Look at how many kids we have playing CIS football now.
yeah.
Before there was any OV, OS, OP, all that stuff, the youth leagues, before there was any of that, it was difficult to hear about kids going on to the next level. It was like a small, if it was a handful, that was a high number of kids. Now it's like, take your socks off and start
Every year.
counting because, it's all of them.
Yeah.
Right? And it took a while, but they're learning that there's no such thing as a dumb football player anymore. So you got to go to school.
Yeah.
Got to get high marks.
Yeah.
High marks, high rewards.
Yeah.
And if you're working hard,
Diverse.
then, it's not that difficult to get to a university level team, right? It's they first of all, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to play university football. It's hard to crack the roster,
Yeah.
right? But
And
they're
it's-
cracking the roster.
But even if you don't go beyond university, you're playing a game you love while you're getting an education. I mean, it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, you know what? I also strongly believe that a lot of the U Sports athletes that are playing with the men's team have realized that it's not beer league football. It's not. It's not
It's a
beer
highly
league football.
competitive league.
It is.
Yeah.
There's players just as good as them, if not better than some of them, on the other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have them too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sudbury's quarterback, Mount Allison, I believe. They have players from all over. Sault Ste. Marie has a 4-time OUA All-Star playing linebacker for them. Like that's not chump change. Those are good football players. It's a talented league, right?
Yeah.
They're all over the place. Ex-pros, CIS All-Stars, everything. So it's not beer league football. It's semi-pro football, and it's competitive. So I'm excited. I think that we may have a couple of SVs that might get a call-up for our men's team. So their season's done. We should get at least 3, I'm hoping, at practice tonight. So we'll find out.
Yeah, that'll be
We're excited. But the men's team is on a roll right now. They're not looking back. They're a freight train.
Oh yeah, there was a different mentality from those guys coming off the field. Just the way they were walking and carrying themselves. There was confidence about them, which is different. Normally, they come off the field and they're okay. I mean, they're grown men, but they're just not as up, I guess. You know what I mean? Like you could feel. It was almost like the monkey's off the back now. Right? So.
There's some tricks to that, right? So when you play men's football, you got to get up and go to work the next day,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, sometimes you got Sunday to recoup. Some guys work Sundays. Sometimes guys go to work after the football game itself. So when you're younger, you win some, you lose some. When you're in men's, it's like you're in pain. You don't want to lose, right? So make sure you're having fun in the moment. You're playing a football game. You're still able to play. You can walk, talk, and shoot bubble gum. Keep playing because, like you guys tell the kids, play like it's your last game. When you get to the men's NFC team, kind of could be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So every game could be your last game. I mean, technically, it's a contact sport, so you never know what's going to happen when you walk on the field. You might as well play it the best you can.
Yeah.
And give everything you can. If you're not at 100%, and you're not doing yourself a favor by being out there, because if you're worried about something, you're not playing at 100%. You're worried, I got to take this step or I got to get there, and then that's how when you start second guessing, it's a reaction. Like, yes, you got to read and understand, but a lot of it is reaction. You got to be able to react to that stuff. So
I think what I meant was in the summertime, the kids JV Bantam, maybe not senior varsity as much, but still with them also. They can afford to sit on the couch till Wednesday, right? And heal up or go jump in the lake and revitalize your body.
They don't have careers. They
exactly.
Don't have that stuff.
So it's a little bit different, but it's been a fun season so far. Happy I got to be part of 2 teams, and they're looking good. And this men's team can stay together for 3, 4, 5 years. They're gonna bring a championship to North Bay. They will win one. They will, hands down.
Well, they're having fun, right?
Man. There's a couple things. It's the season started off typically. Is he playing? If he's playing, I'm playing. Is he going to play? If he's playing, I'm playing. If he's not playing, I'm not playing. Right? But it got to a point where at the end it's like, the hell with it, we're all playing.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and it's good to see because that brings that program back. And going out and do the marketing, trying to get the sponsors and stuff for the club to be able to put enough people in the stands for that game.
Yeah.
That's the marquee one. That's the one that all the extra stuff comes along with it, right? Yeah. Because they're also the ones that have careers, like you said, that are able to contribute back into the local economy. So sponsors are going after people like that. Yeah. So that's where we can build it back up. And being strong in the Bantam hopefully breeds a strong JV, breeds a strong senior varsity, and we see the trickle-down effects there. So
we're coming out of COVID. So
coming
at the sport strong.
I had those talks with some of our sponsors this week because I'm wanting to get back out there and get everything started up early. Mm-hmm. And some of our sponsors had a difficult time trying to accomplish the things they set out to do. Right, like Canada College, one of our sponsors, Josh Willard there had a baby this summer, and they weren't able to get a tent at any of the games. They're supposed to do a ceremonial kickoff. Hopefully we get something set up with them for the fall league. Yeah. But we want to get back to that stuff. Kenny Upol, their IT department was far behind. They got a tent set up, but they didn't have their tablets set up where they could register people.
Right.
And show them how Kenny Upol works. But they still showed up, put a tent up, and raffled off a Sawzall. Yeah. So I had to tell a lot of people, hey, it's free. It's free to fill out a ballot.
Yeah.
Just go write your name down, put it in the glass, boom, you can win. Awesome.
Yeah.
And it was on Father's Day, too.
Yep.
I guess all the fathers already had Sawzalls, but what's another one? Look what I got you, Dad.
Yeah.
You could start the renos for Mom. Yeah. So. But anyways, we got practice. It's 5 o'clock. Wrap it up. We're going to have Nick next week, and hopefully you guys win. And I have you guys, we're going to do 2 podcasts next week either way, I think. Right. So we're going to push the youth league, the flag football, and find out what happened with you guys, and hope it starts with a W.
I hope so. If the team shows up on the weekend like they did this last weekend, and they practice hard this week, Guelph's in trouble. Yeah. And I keep tooting the horns of those defensive kids, and especially that defensive front. That line is going to feast again this weekend on Guelph.
Oh yeah.
With 5-man line, Guelph is not going to be able to stand back there and pick us apart.
Yeah, we have 2 great quarterbacks, that we can work with. Incredibly intelligent, very diverse athletes. We have Debian to light them up, and we also have adjacent superstars like T.O. and Colton, and there's just so many to talk about. So it's not just a one-man show. Everyone contributes, and that's what makes us dangerous.
Yeah. We can't forget Troy either.
Troy
caught a kickoff. They kicked it to him, thought, there's one of the linemen out at the front.
And he bull rushed.
So he just ran like 25, 30 yards, and he was running kids down. Like if If they could have stood up, he would have run up one side and back down the other. But they were just falling like pins as he was running through them.
Yeah.
It was
We
awesome.
can put him. He just
Hey,
a Lego piece. You can put him on any position. He'll just
Funny
do well.
story now that you guys mention that. We got a guy on the men's team, Gabe Charlebois, former rugby player.
Yeah.
He can catch. He can hold the ball.
Mhm.
Don't get in his way. He caught a kickoff also, and he did the same thing.
No, I just trucked.
I heard Coach Mathon in my ear, hold on to that ball. They're not
Yeah.
getting around his arms.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But it was
rugby
awesome.
players run different.
They run different.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to talk about, and it's just from a coaching perspective, is with Bulldogs football, the one thing I've noticed is unity. We have 3 different high schools represented, and that's usually kind of a friction point. But we have Algonquin, we have Schollard, and we have West Ferris. 3 great programs, 3 great coaching staffs, all come together, we're united, and everyone is cohesive. And for me, as an outsider, to see all of that work so well in concert, it's a thing of beauty, and it really does contribute to our success. So kudos to all of those coaches to come together and shake hands and put aside the fall, and then come out to the Bulldogs program and bring it all together.
I'll take out the green and gold at the end of the season.
Yeah,
right
and
now,
shut-
it's
There's the sales
black and
pitches
yellow.
for each team.
And shout out to the NDA and Tim Lowe. I hope you're listening. And there is parity amongst the high schools, and they are getting along.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great to see in the fall.
Yeah, we're all black and yellow right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not in the fall.
Right on.
Okay.
There's a lot of green out there, though. Right? There's a couple shades of green.
Yeah. Well, most of the kids that are on the Bantam team are Schollard and Algonquin.
Yeah.
There's a few Ferris kids. There's some kids at Chippewa. Unfortunately, there's no team there. I've been told Franco is back this year, though, which is nice to hear. So we've got a couple kids that are living out in Sturgeon that are planning on playing for Franco as well.
What
So
about Northern? They got a team?
Northern, no.
Really?
No. I don't expect to ever see Northern back in NBA.
Really?
That's
Oof.
unfortunate.
I'd like to.
Chippewa should for sure have a team.
I agree. The issue with Chippewa is that these kids that love to play the game of football, when they hear there's no team at Chippewa, they leave. They go to other schools, and that causes it's the reason there's no football. If there was kids that would stay and possibly a coach who decided to get it going, there's enough kids there now. But come September or late August, if there's not enough kids, if there's no word on whether there's going to be a football team, there won't be enough kids because they're all going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you have
So-
to start building early.
Yeah.
Late summer, early summer, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Just kind of putting your program together.
There'll be 4 schools this year in the junior loop anyway. I don't know about the senior loop again, but we'll have Franco, Ferris, Algonquin, and Schollard again. As of right now. So
It's better than nothing.
Oh, yeah.
it's better than 3, which is
Better
all
than
there was
3.
last year. It was a tough schedule. You're playing every team 3 times or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, there used to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, with Franco, yeah. So there
6.
used to be Whitfield, Chippewa, Schollard, Algonquin, Ferris, Franco. Northern at one point did have a team, but they're long gone now. So the most we can have now is 5.
Wow. Brutal. Well, hopefully we get some more kids out from Chippewa and some from Northern. If there's not a team at your school, there's a place for you in the summertime. We'll take you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of football to be played. So again, for all those junior varsity and senior varsity guys, come on out, practice, work out with us. 6 o'clock till 9:30ish. The men's are practicing. Doesn't mean you guys can't still practice and get prepared for high school or U-ball if you've already left, I'm sure. But
If you're coming back to me in September, don't sit on the couch between now and September. Because you're going to be throwing up on that nice new field, and I'll be really mad if that happens.
You've been warned.
been warned. All right, make sure you guys get to the website. The hot sauce is up there. Get some bottles. If you don't see it on the website, make sure you go to your coaches. That's going to help us cover some added expenses. So,
And they make good Christmas gifts too. I always like finding hot sauce in my stocking.
hey, you know what? If we get everybody between the Bantam and the men's, we get everybody to buy a bottle, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they buy 2, it's gone quicker. But it's awesome. You know, it's value for your dollar. It is really good too. It's great for wings also. Made some wings with that tomato-based one.
Yeah.
Wow, they're awesome. They're good. Shayna likes the other one on hot dogs and
Yeah.
stuff. It's amazing. So, anyways, anything else before we end this and get to practice, guys?
No, I've got to go practice.
Nope.
Gotta
Gotta
them
get
ready.
these kids ready for Guelph.
Playoff football,
We
baby.
go Guelph. North Bay's coming to town.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's episode 6 of the Drop the Leash podcast. We're going to have some new stuff coming up next week. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave your comments. All right, have a good one.
All right. See you at the field.